Hello, folks. Welcome to All Things Real Talk. As you can see, the title, Woke Up to a Broken Jaw. And that's real disturbing. Being a young lady, she looked like she may be in her early 20s. However, right off the bat, I can tell street smarts are not really there. But who am I to say, how smart she is? However, as you can see, this young lady is a pretty young lady, and she went out with a coworker. You go out with a coworker, that means you know this coworker. But if you hear the way she speaks, she don't really know this coworker. So that's kind of bothering for me. It's kind of concerning. She also trying to explain that she's never gone out with a guy before. Now, make this make sense. How in the hell do you go and drink with somebody heavily, and you already was drinking before you got to wherever you was going, but how do you go drinking with someone you can't seriously know, as y'all can tell when she tells the story? But this shows that we have young people out here trying to be grown when they don't understand nothing about street life. I'm going to stop right there and I'm going to continue on with the story so you guys can get the gist of it. The gist of it. And I'll come back and we'll touch bases on a few things that's kind of odd.
Here is my story on how I broke my jaw. I woke up to a broken jaw on May 18th after a night out drinking with a male coworker. Open gash on my chin so deep that you could see my bone. My jaw was broken this way and completely detached right here. My teeth had almost completely bitten through my lip, my bottom one sliding through the inside. I have a huge amount of scar tissue right here. There's stitches all in here, all down here. And then my front top teeth bit through. I don't know if you can see the scar tissue. My front tooth completely came out, root and all, and then I chipped my other front tooth, and there is a molar that is chipped on the inside. That was all of my injuries though. I didn't break any other bones, didn't crack my fingers, I had nails on, didn't lose a nail, just a lot of bruising. On Saturday night, May 17th, me and my coworker decided to go out for drinks after work. Yes, he was a male. Yes, it was our first time hanging out. Yes, that was my first mistake. We decided to go to a bar that my friend was working at. When we arrived to the bar, it was completely empty. There was no one there and my friend was leaving. So the three of us left together in one car to go to a new club. The line was really long. My friend didn't want to wait, so she left me and my coworker there, which I never, ever blamed her for or was mad at her for or felt any type of way towards. Me and my coworker finally make our way inside the club after waiting 25 minutes, and we immediately head to the bar. He orders us 2 shots each and a tequila soda, and that is literally the only thing I remember from that entire night. I will say that we were drinking in the car before we got to the bar, so I did not get there stone cold sober. I have never in my life ever blacked out before. I always know my limits when I'm drinking, and I don't do any sort of drugs or anything else like that. I'm literally 90% of the time a sober sister. So this was so unlike me. Everything that happened this night, I feel was so out of character for everyone that was involved. Everyone was acting so weird. I can't even explain it, and I'll go into that deeper in a different video because I'm just trying to keep this as a story time. It's such a long story. This was my first time ever blacking out, and it was also my first time ever going out alone with a man. I wake up in the morning on May 18th to a text from my coworker. I don't remember anything else from that night. I wake up in the morning on May 18th to a text from my coworker saying that I had taken a fall down the stairs and I peed myself, and he did his best to clean me up. He got me in bed, and to call him in the morning. I was not in any pain when I woke up. There was nothing that immediately flagged me that oh my god, I'm in pain, I'm in danger, something happened. I literally read the text, I responded, LMAO, I'm so sorry. Because I was so embarrassed that I, 1, got too drunk, 2, fell, 3, peed myself. After I sent that text, I went back to sleep. I finally get up around 8 a.m. on May 18th, Sunday morning, and I make my way to the bathrooms and brush my teeth like I do every single morning. When I looked in the mirror, this is what I saw looking back at me. I didn't even know, I don't even remember.
Whew. Yes, he had to have gotten his hands on your keys to the house, and also, just like you said, the directions to your house. You're saying that you had roommates. You don't live alone. Other people live there. Who are these other people that you're living with? Evidently, they don't give a damn about you either. It seems like at that time of night, shit, someone would have been home. So this whole thing, it sounds real bad, but at the same time, this whole thing tells me the people that you circle yourself around, you might better think twice about these individuals. You're lucky. It's sad. You did a lot of things that were wrong, and you did a lot of things that seems like I don't think you have a father figure in your life. You said your mother, you didn't want to talk to her. Not one time did I hear you say something about a father, because everything that you did was asinine. And it shows that you didn't have somebody in your life to tell you, hell no, that's not the way to go. You're not going to do that. And first of all, you got to take some of this responsibility, because where's your dignity as a young lady? You need to put the alcohol down. This goes for all young ladies. Stop looking at these videos, this TV stuff, and going out here thinking you're living your best life. But that's a problem. And I'm finding that a lot with a lot of young women. They're out here thinking they're living their best life and nobody can tell them anything. Shamefacedness is very important. And that is why you need to understand what the Most High is telling all of us, especially women. Okay, again, she says she has a boyfriend. What in the world are you doing going out with this guy drinking like a heathen, like you know him, like he may be your boyfriend and y'all starting to get to know each other? Evidently, you got some insecurities that you need to check. Second of all, you said you were there with him because you made it sound like you was there with other people, but then again, the way this story is going, it sounds like it was just you and that coworker. Was this a misleading thing? It still doesn't give him or her or whatever it is a right to put their hands on you. Even if he didn't put his hands on you, it still doesn't give him a right to violate you in the way that he did. Young ladies, this is a lesson to you. Wake up and understand that you shouldn't be in these streets. When you think about the Bible tells women to be shamefaced. Be shamefaced. And you should have some type of morals about yourself in the sense of shamefacedness. This is a sad situation because it could have turned out to be a deadly one.